We've got some exciting news, new product releases, new publisher features. In this, an epic up-to-the-minute refresh on everything that is Mineful, the original mining for the masses company. Let's do this. So that's right, we're back with another look at everything we've been up to in the last few weeks. Yeah, I know. I haven't done a video for a few weeks. We have been particularly busy on a number of things, and we're going to talk about those today, but that's on me. Anyway, let's make hay while the sun shines and we'll get stuck right in. So as I mentioned, we've been very excited about everything that's been going on over here at Mineful HQ. We've been working very hard on our publisher tools and in particular our Windows SDK. Our multi-miner engine uses best-in-class desktop mining technology, and as a result it poses a few challenges for us. Antivirus companies tend to view this type of software as malicious. This is in part due to the prevalence nowadays of the number of crypto mining, crypto jacking, malware, and an awful lot of negative press. Not always the most accurate press, it has to be said, that basically tarnishes CPU and GPU mining technology as malicious, when in fact it's not always. However, it can't be understated the extent to which this is a problem today. So since we're obviously going for a completely legitimate use case for this technology, it's not exactly the best scenario that the antivirus companies could possibly flag our publishers' own products as potentially malicious crypto mining software. It doesn't look great. It's not particularly good for user experiences and not really going to help this method of value exchange really take off. So we have our work cut out to really solve a lot of those problems, and we've dedicated a lot of effort to doing that over the last couple of months. As you can see, according to Virus Total's report, we're in a pretty healthy position. But we wanted to go a whole lot further for our publishers and not relying on them too much as being the guinea pigs for our new Windows library. So one of the things we decided to do was actually build and release our own consumer-facing application. So we jumped right in and created a brand new product in order to showcase the epic power and the legendary potential of the Mineful tools. And that brings me to our main event, folks. So if you're familiar, and if you're not, I can't imagine where you've been hiding the last year or so. There's a game that's taking over the world right now, developed by Epic Games, and it's called Fortnite. You see what I did there? You didn't see. You didn't, come on, seriously. You didn't get it. I did it at the beginning, and then in the middle. Alright, never mind. Okay, so here's my 60 seconds old guy's interpretation and explanation of what is Fortnite. You begin with 100 players. You skydive in from this funky bus using a parachute that can't possibly physically, scientifically fly, but it does, to an island. This island is made up of little communities and towns with names like Tomato Town, Salty Springs, and Twisted Towers. Some of these places get blown up when crazy happens. Once you land, it's on, Hunger Games style. Everyone's just trying to kill each other. You search for weapons because if you don't, you'll die. I've never watched Hunger Games in my life. In order to build stuff. Building is good. I don't know how some people do it so fast, but then I'm absolutely rubbish. You want to get the high ground, but not too high. Eventually, you'll probably die. If you don't get shot, you may get trapped in a storm which is gradually closing in with the intent of enclosing everyone in a small area for absolute carnage. If you still don't die, you are quite possibly awesome. And if you're awesome enough, you may even win. And if you win enough, you could become someone like Ninja, or Tfue, or Ali A, with millions of adoring fans and YouTube followers. People spend a lot of money buying stuff like skins and pickaxes and backpacks, but I don't really know what they actually do. You need a battle pass to take part. Every season, a new battle pass comes out, and it costs around $10. But you don't pay for it in dollars. No, you pay for it in something called V-Bucks. V-Bucks is the in-game currency for Fortnite. Now, if you have kids, you probably know all of this already.
Apparently, according to my dad, Tilted Towers has turned into Twisted Towers.
So after a simple search, you'll probably be able to find loads of sites offering free V-Bucks. But be careful. Most of these sites have absolutely no intention of giving you free V-Bucks, and instead they're either looking to steal your Fortnite login credentials or get you to fill out some survey and sell your details to some marketing agency so they can spam you for the rest of your life. So we decided there's a better way. Now listen up, children. I'm going to impart upon you a tale. Dark times were upon the Generator Academy. The world had fallen into all-out war. Getting ahead of the competition is key to survival. It's life or death. You need the battle pass. You need weapons. And so the engineers of the Generator Academy were being wiped out, as looters and thieves sought the one true advantage: access to the generators. But one group of the Division of Engineers, the last full graduates of the now defunct Generator Academy, had taken the last generator in known existence to the basement of a now derelict and disused shack not far from the Wailing Woods. The magna cum laude of the division, neutron-class engineer by the name of Felix Carlsbad, had coded a remote access gateway, commonly known as the RAG, a piece of software that could enable anyone that possesses it to dial in remotely and charge the generator. In doing so, they would be able to reap the rewards that the generator had to offer and get ahead of their enemies in the continuing epic battle for survival. So that's right, we're about to launch the first version of the Battle Pass generator. But this isn't a storytelling video, as much fun as that was. This is a tech update. So let's drill down for a minute and look at some of the things that we've had to build to enable this that actually might give you some ideas of how you could use the Mineful platform in your own applications and your own products. First up, a small thing, we've made it a lot easier for you to configure and start the actual miner. So we've added a port detection feature, which if you run this function and save the return value and then use that to initialize the miner with the port setting, you no longer have to figure out or detect the optimal port configuration for the miner. Now that was pretty boring, but it's super useful. So if you choose to use the Mineful API, and in particular with some of the features I'm going to talk about next, there's good reason to doing so. It's really important that the flow between emails and some of the web views that you may need to present from the Mineful platform are in keeping and fit with the style and branding of your product. So for this reason, every developer application that's built on the Mineful platform has access and the ability to customize the style of the system emails and the web views, which are commonly used for things like resetting Mineful user passwords or accepting an invite from a Mineful user to another user, that you can actually apply your own custom styling and custom branding to those views and even use your own domains, your own URLs to achieve that consistency throughout the flow. We've used this in the Battle Pass generator application, and you can use this too. So one question you might be asking about the Battle Pass generator is, how do I actually receive the V-Bucks? Well, that's a jolly good question. This question, in fact, has enabled us to imagine a whole new layer of services and features on the Mineful platform that you can use to abstract away the complexities of cryptocurrency mining and cryptocurrency metrics to something that's a much simpler language and easy to understand, and ultimately translate into an incentivization and rewards mechanism that you can actually use and communicate within your product. So let's think about that with the use case of the Battle Pass generator. So you basically, once you've downloaded the Battle Pass generator, you turn it on and you start mining, dedicating as much computer resource to the mining process as you can tolerate for the current use of your computer. So obviously turn the GPU mode on if you're not planning to use it, if it's overnight, or turn it off if you want to play Fortnite but you want a CPU mine in the background, which is quite reasonable. So eventually you'll mine enough to be awarded the equivalent value as a reward. In this case, let's take the 1000 V-Bucks example, which is roughly equivalent to $10, which is about the cost of the Battle Pass in Fortnite. Now, in order to redeem that $10, we're not giving out cash, but instead we're giving out a mechanism for you to actually redeem the specific type of reward that we are offering. So in this case, we have to work within the parameters of Epic Games' own checkout system. So if you wanted to buy V-Bucks today, you could do so from the PC platform, where they support credit card, debit card payments, PayPal, and depending on what country you're in, a few other payment variants as well. Or alternatively, you can buy them from the Xbox store or the PlayStation store. So we have created an API that enables achievements such as a $10 equivalent value of V-Bucks to be redeemed in the form of a gift voucher for the user's preferred platform, such as the Xbox store or the PlayStation store, and soon in the future we'll also support the PC store also. And this can automatically be sent to a user that has achieved sufficient points through their mining activities. Our platform supports many different types of gift cards. This Fortnite example is just a really great use case, but really it's over to you to think about the types of gift cards that may be of interest to your audience. Mining metrics abstraction. What does that mean? Okay, let's just break that down a little bit. So in the Battle Pass generator, we have a scoring system that updates every 30 seconds based on the data that we're receiving when your miner is activated, that's coming from the proxies, the pools. And then we have WebSockets events, email notifications that enable you to plug that feedback into your product and into the flow of your user experience to engage and reinforce that achievement with your users. So the final part I'll talk about builds upon everything we've just talked about, which is then additional gamification and engagement mechanisms. So by having this point system, the actual conversion of mining behavior into awards and value generated enables us to also build in non-mining related behaviors as well. So in the Battle Pass generator, every week we release a new supply drop. Supply drops are little challenges that engage our users to take part in certain activities. They could be simple things like following a social media account or inviting a friend or a certain number of people, or it could be behavior that encourages and reinforces better mining behaviors, such as if you run the miner for a certain number of hours, or if you run the miner for a number of days in a row, then you qualify for another reward. And that reward may be something like that you get 2 times the daily hash rate allowance, or 3 times, or you get a one-off bonus of points that has some value. Either way, you have a lot of creative flexibility within this framework to engage users, to reinforce the correct behavior, and to ultimately enable them to take value from your product. So that just about wraps up our update for this week. If you want to get a preview of the new Battle Pass generator, pop along to battlepassgenerator.com and pre-register to receive your early invitation. Until next time, have fun.